Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
First Sunday in December and beautiful 35 degrees. Not much of a wind, mostly cloudy. We had mostly sunshine early on. And we're set to go as the Bears have won the toss and will receive Steve Spagnuolo, the former Giant defensive coordinator, in his first season. Very upbeat, as Trent Green indicated. And Lovie Smith, who said, hey, we can end up 9-7. And people may scoff at it, but if they win out, they're 9-7. Set to go as Josh Brown kicks off Danielle Manning. It's a short kick, and it's taken by Rasheed Davis. And Davis, after bobbling the ball, brings it up to midfield. And a big break for the Bears. A 21-yard return.
This backfires on the Rams. Instead of kicking the ball deep to Devin Hester, they decide to kick it short. They nearly get a turnover as he bobbles the ball. Davis bobbles the ball, but he regains control of the ball. And now the Bears are starting on the Rams side of the 50.
And Jay Cutler leading the way at the 49-yard line of the Rams. And Matt Forte with the first play picks up a couple of yards, stopped by James Laurinaitis, the middle linebacker for the Rams. Bears offense are dead last in rushing, and up front Chris Williams moves from right to left tackle, and Orlando Pace won't get a chance to go against his former team.
And Greg Olsen has quickly developed a chemistry with quarterback Jay Cutler, where he leads the team in touchdown receptions with 6.
Second down and 8. 3 wide receivers. Johnny Knox is the third. They run it with Forte, and Forte loses the ball, fumbles outside the 40-yard line, and it was Otagwe who forced it.
This is good to Otagwe.
And we'll wait for the official signal.
There's a little pushing and shoving, as you can see, the intensity. We told you coming into this that the Rams have not wavered in their intensity, and here they get the fumble, and they get the ball back.
And Otagwe forced it, and Otagwe recovers it. And a big break for the Rams.
You can see O.J. Otagwe, he's done a good job his entire career with turnovers. And as Forte is struggling for extra yards, he keeps pounding away, and Otagwe, knowing that the rest of his defense is rallying, rips the ball out of there and is able to recover it at the bottom of that pile.
So first a break for the Bears and getting the ball in Ram territory, and now on the turnover, it'll be a first down on the Ram 42. Kyle Boller, the quarterback, playing with the injured Mark Bulger, and completes the pass out to the 46 to Randy McMichael, the tight end, for a gain of 6. So Kyle Boller 0 for 9 in his last 9 starts. Last time he won was back in 07. And looking at the Rams offense, and once again shuffling on the right side of the line, Richie Incognito back after missing 4 games.
And fullback Mike Carney is going to be out today, so look for them to utilize running backs and tight ends in short yardage and goal line situations.
And you're right, Billy Badgema is one of those in there right now in the fullback position. And movement on the line, and the initial signal would be an offsides call. And
offside, number 91 defense, 5-yard penalty. Result of the penalty is a first down.
Pete Morelli, the referee. Tommy Harris, offsides. Let's take a look now at the Bears defense. It's been a real disappointment. Lance Briggs missing his first game this season, and there's a shakeup in the secondary as well, Trent.
Yeah, third-year player Kevin Payne is going to get his second start of the season, but this time it's going to be at strong safety.
Al Afalava is the free safety. 1st and 10 in Bear territory on the rollout, and the pass incomplete, out of bounds, and it was intended for Donnie Avery. So already both teams have had the ball in the enemy territory, as you see Kyle Boller, who's making his 5th appearance and 4th start of the year. And the Rams with 16 points in the first quarter, last in the league.
And I think that's good what they're doing with Kyle Boller. If you notice, the first play of the game was a quick pass to Randy McMichael to get him involved. The second play was getting him outside the pocket.
2nd and 10 at the 47. Steven Jackson's first carry doesn't get much, a yard. And it was Nick Roach, the strong side linebacker, making the play.
And we'll have to keep an eye on Steven Jackson. We mentioned the last 2 weeks he hasn't had any practice time because of a sore back that he's been dealing with. He came out today with these cold temperatures. We'll have to keep an eye on whether or not that gets stiff and if he'll be able to carry the load for the entire game.
Now Jackson passing Eric Dickerson, the Hall of Famer, for 1,000 yards. Kenneth Darby is in the game at running back. 3 receivers out of the shotgun goes Boller. Pressure by Aguilia, and he gets him. Adewale Aguilia, and the first sack of the game will force the Rams to punt and a loss of 8.
Adewale Aguilia is lined up one-on-one with Adam Goldberg. Wally told us coming into this game that he's faced Adam Goldberg before. You can see right there he just beats him around the edge. Kyle Boller has no chance to get rid of the ball.
And the 6th sack of the season for Aguilia, and Hester going back deep. And what a brief and exciting career with 11 touchdowns as a returner. Donnie Jones will punt for the Rams. Short kick. And Hester will let it bounce, and it helps the Rams, and it'll be down at about the 15-yard line. So the Rams could not capitalize on the turnover. Each team has had the ball once and will return to Soldier Field in just a moment. Back at Soldier Field, Jay Cutler, who has 20 interceptions, leading the league and a career high for him, but has thrown only 3 picks at home. Bears starting from the 15. Play action on first down. And Cutler gets hit as he launches it, and Devin Hester makes the catch. Ball floated out there, and there were 2 defenders, but Hester makes the play, and a big play of 48 yards.
And when you initially see that ball thrown, you're thinking, what's he doing throwing into coverage? The Rams had dropped into a cover 2 or a deep quarters coverage. Jay takes a huge hit there, throws the ball up the field. Devin Hester does a great job of locating the ball. James Butler, number 37, the safety, doesn't locate the ball, and Hester is able to go up and get the ball.
Devin Aromashadu is in the lineup, number 19. And there's the quick pass, but dropped by Aromashadu. And it'll be 2nd down and 10.
With James Butler playing the deep quarter, he's got to be able to locate that ball. Devin Hester does a good job. It's a little bit underthrown. After seeing the hit that Jay Cutler took, you can understand why. Devin Hester goes up, attacks the ball, and is able to bring it in with James Butler not being able to locate it.
And that was the longest pass to Hester this year from Cutler. 2nd down and 10. Looking left and going up top, and Johnny Knox, and a flag is going to go down. Flag going down, and let's see, Quincy Butler was downfield and was never playing the ball and was in front of Knox as the ball hit him.
Pass interference, number 36 of the defense. Automatic first down.
Just with what happened with James Butler, the same thing happens with Quincy Butler. He never turns around to locate the ball, and when the receiver comes back, Knox comes back to try and make a play on the ball. There's the collision and the pass interference. Good job by the offensive line of the Bears, giving Cutler some room and some separation to lay that ball out there.
35-yard play, so it'll be 1st and goal at the 2. And here's Matt Forte trying to drive and gets down to the 1-yard line. James Hall, who has looked good coming off the bench, started last week in Chris Long's position. It'll bring up 2nd and goal.
This has been an area of concern for the Bears. Both teams are struggling in the first quarter in their scoring. Bears going to try pound it in here, get the run game going.
Here's Forte. No signal. Didn't make it. It'll be 3rd and goal. Inching forward, but now it'll be 3rd down.
And that may be an indicator as to why Greg Olsen is leading the team with 6 touchdowns. Down in this red zone, they've got to be able to pound that ball in there. 2 plays in a row now. They've tried running it up the middle. Let's see the kind of message that Lovie Smith is going to send. Do you try a 3rd run here and potentially go with the play action on 4th down? I say they're going to run it.
James Laurinaitis right in the middle, and they're going to run it, and they're going to score it. Matt Forte with a touchdown.
Lovie Smith has talked over and over again about this being a running football team, and we're going to pound the football. We mentioned at the beginning that the Rams have had a hard time stopping the run, and the Bears are looking to get going in the running game. 3 plays in a row from the 1-yard line. The Bears try pounding it in, and on the 3rd try, Forte is able to find that gap, work backside, make the cut off the offensive line's block, and get it in the end zone.
And Robbie Gould with the extra point. So Forte with his 4th touchdown. The big play was the 48-yard pass to Devin Hester. And then Forte goes in to give the Bears a 7-0 lead. Bears scoring here in the first quarter, going 85 yards on 5 plays. And only their 3rd touchdown in the first quarter of this season. We showed you the 48-yard pass to Hester and then the 35-yard gain on the pass interference. So 83 yards on those 2 passes as Gould kicks off. Danny Amendola takes it on the hop at the 10 and brings it out close to the 30-yard line where Josh Bullocks brings him down. Here's Forte's. You don't succeed at first. Finally, he got in for the score. Might affect his back. First down, and Steven Jackson with the carry. Jackson brings it out to the 34-yard line. Alex Brown the tackle after a 6-yard pickup.
And that does have to be a concern for the St. Louis Rams. We've touched a couple times already on Steven Jackson's back, but the fact that he does such a good job of yards after first contact, breaking those arm tackles and powering through those runs, carrying guys for extra yardage, that'll be a concern with his back.
1,120 yards coming in. 2nd in the league to the great Chris Johnson of Tennessee, who's having a marvelous season. 2nd down and 4. And on the end around, here's Donnie Avery. He'll get the first down easily. And gets close to midfield and might edge his way. No, he's on his own 49 as Nick Roach finally brings him down. A 15-yard end around.
It's a way you can utilize Donnie Avery's speed, but look at Alex Brown coming flat. That's got to be the outside contain of the linebacker. And Donnie Avery coming outside, he's got 2 linemen. He's got 2 linemen right there. He's got to get outside of that, use his speed, get to the sideline. Don't turn it upside and take the hit.
So the ball at the 49-yard line of the Rams, and here is Steven Jackson trying to find some room up the middle, protecting the ball. And he gets 5 on the play. For a game break, here's Kurt Menefee. Welcome, Kurt.
Well, thank you very much, Dick. The Washington Redskins getting an early lead on the New Orleans Saints. Jason Campbell and Fred Davis hooking up for an 8-yard score. And the Redskins out in front, 7-0. Back to Dick and Trent.
Boy, it gets tighter when you're unbeaten as the season goes on, doesn't it?
The pressure definitely builds.
2nd down and 5. From the 47, here's Steven Jackson and runs right into Tillman and a couple of other Bears. No gain on the play. So 3rd down coming up. And you're looking at Charles Tillman, who suffered a mild concussion last week against Minnesota, but feels well enough to be out there. And Danielle Manning, who was the starter, and now the nickel back has come into the game.
And on 3rd and long, you see Steven Jackson leaving the game, Kenneth Darby coming in with a passing situation. You're going to see some more rotation with Steven Jackson's injury.
Not good good on third down conversions, and this pass overthrown to Avery. And fourth down coming in, and Bowler taking a shot. Kyle Bowler was sacked 4 times last week.
There is a lot of pressure on Kyle Bowler. The Bears do a good job of bringing the heat up the middle, also off the edge. Kyle's got to set his feet and make that throw. The receiver was open. Donner Avery was open, but you have to have better protection. Randy McMichael has to step up and do a better job on that blitz.
Devin Hester is back, and Donnie Jones will punt for the second time. Hester calling for the fair catch at the 6. So the Bears, who scored on an 85-yard drive the last time they had the ball, will come back with it when we return. Seven to nothing in favor of the Bears. Will start from the 6-yard line, and Khalil Bell, the undrafted rookie from UCLA, number 32, who had a 72-yard run against the Eagles on his first carry, falls down, and Bell gets the handoff. And it could have been worse than that. And you see some players, we saw Bowler slipping early. We see Khalil Bell slipping here. This turf was resodded this week, and it was the second time that it was resodded in the last 11 weeks.
And there has been recent discussion here in Chicago about putting an artificial turf into Soldier Field. I don't know. I'm against that. I guess I like Soldier Field on the grass.
Not here, Trent. Second down and 9. And pressure on Cutler. He completes it to Greg Olsen. And a good thing he did, because the Rams were about to stop him as Laurinaitis makes the play on Olsen, and a gain of 1.
Great discipline by the Rams defensive front, knowing that Jay Cutler likes to bootleg and naked away. They stayed in their lanes. They put pressure on him. They came off the slot, and then, as you said, Laurinaitis, Vabora, they were right there for Olsen. Cutler put the ball right on him, but those guys were right there to make the play.
Leading the team in tackles is the rookie. Third down and 8. Cutler up the middle, and it's caught by Earl Bennett. Loses the ball, but it goes out of bounds. It'll still be Bears ball. And Atagwe, who forced the fumble earlier, knocks the ball out of the hands of Earl Bennett, but the Bears will keep possession.
Once again, this happened earlier in the game on the pass interference in the end zone. The Rams stacked 9 guys in the box to get Jay Cutler to check out of it. I'm not sure how many more times today the Rams will be making that call to cause confusion, because the first time was a pass interference in the end zone. The second time is a big play to get him inside the 20 at the other end of the field. So they may want to stop disguising and get Jay Cutler to check those big plays.
It'll go as a 71-yard play, and a timeout called by the Bears. So Jay Cutler going deep, effective early on in this game. We'll be back.
About the Rams stacking so many guys inside the box to get Jay Cutler to check out of the play. They have 8 guys in the box here with 3 receivers. Jay checks out. The Rams decide to drop back into coverage, and they get the big play. That's the second time today they've been able to take advantage of that.
First down at the 20 after the Bears timeout. And Cutler completes the pass to Knox, and it'll be a first down inside the 10. So the rookie Johnny Knox has made some big plays and has become a fan favorite. Picks up 11 yards.
Johnny Knox does a good job in his one-on-one coverage with Ron Bartel. He pushes him up deep, comes back to the football, and Jay Cutler gets flushed out of the pocket. He's very effective on the run. That's something he did a lot of in Denver, and you may see more of today.
First and goal at the 9. 2 tight ends, and Khalil Bell remains the setback. And here's Bell. And Bell runs into Clifton Ryan. And no gain on the play. So the Bears threatening, leading 7-0, and Jay Cutler has hit long passes, 71, 48, and 35 on a pass interference.
Devin Hester is one-on-one right here on the outside. They go to the running game, but matched up with him is Justin King, who is the Rams' third defensive back. He usually is in nickel situations. Right now he's matched up with Devin Hester again, so we'll see if the Rams decide to take that matchup.
2nd and goal. Cutler with the pass, and again it hits the back of the defender Ron Bartell on the pass intended for Earl Bennett.
The Rams have got to do a better job of turning around and locating the football. I know we talked about it earlier on the pass interference and also the big play into double coverage that James Butler didn't turn around and were able to make the big play. But once again, Ron Bartell does not turn and locate the ball. Earl Bennett attempts to come back for it. If he comes back a little harder, I think you'll get a pass interference on that play as well.
Very fortunate that one wasn't called there. 3rd and goal. Here come the Rams, and the pass, and Hester makes it for the touchdown. Devin Hester with a tough catch on a great pass, beating Ron Bartell. Similar to that previous play, and the Rams score again, or the Bears score once more. One-handed grab.
Great catch by Devin Hester. Good concentration. Gets his one hand on the ball. Is able to bring it in. But that second foot comes down out of bounds.
They're going to challenge.
It'll be incomplete. 4th down, Chicago.
So they didn't need to challenge it.
Clearly incomplete.
Didn't need to challenge it. Good job by the officiating crew getting together to talk about it and getting the ruling correct on the field.
Now that they pick up the challenge flag. They picked it up, and this is where the officiating was very sharp. Why waste a challenge when the official said, look, he clearly had one foot in the end zone, the other out of bounds.
27-yard field goal.
So Spagnuolo throws it, and then the official says, thank you very much.
Well, it's a good job by Pete Morelli and his crew working together, discussing things, getting the call right on the field, and saving the Rams either a timeout or one of their challenges. Good job by the crew.
So Robbie Gould will attempt a 27-yard field goal to extend the Bears' lead. And the kick is good, and it's 10-0. Robbie Gould, who has connected on 18 of 21 field goals this year, and Lovie Smith's Bears, with just under 4 minutes to go in the first, leading 10-0, and a crisp start for Chicago.
It has been. They've done a good job of stretching the field. We've seen the deep plays early in the first drive. They had the deep pass that was completed in front of, or right next to James Butler. They had the pass interference in the end zone. On this drive here, we had more big plays up the field. They're doing a good job of getting Jay Cutler outside the pocket with some bootlegs, with some pressure, and him rolling out. They're doing a good job of changing things up. They've done a good job pounding the ball in the end zone with the run game. They haven't been able to crack a big run yet, but you can tell that they've got that mindset that they're going to try running the ball today.
And working on Bartell, to be sure, thus far, and Devin Hester, who very nearly had a touchdown. He's caught a 48-yard pass. As you look at the brain trust, Pat Shurmur, the offensive coordinator, talking to Kyle Boller. Both coordinators for the Rams. First time they've been coordinators. Ken Flagel, the defensive coordinator, Pat Shurmur, and of course Steve Spagnuolo, first time he's been a head coach. Danny Amendola is back deep for the kick. Returns from the 4. Amendola turns it on. Good return by Amendola. And he gets close to midfield. And it was Danielle Manning bringing him down after a turn of 43.
Good job by Amendola in this return unit. He sets him up by going one direction, cuts back the other direction. Watch Robbie Gould on this play. He looks like he hurts himself once again. The turf being a factor. It looks like he slips. That's the third or fourth time today we've seen a player slip. And after that, he gets up off the field, limping off the field. So we have to keep an eye on that from a kicking standpoint.
So Gould was shaken up, and Amendola bruised a hip in practice on Friday. And here Steven Jackson gets running room on first down. And a good play by Jamar Williams, who is starting in place of Lance Briggs at weak side linebacker. Did start earlier this year on the strong side.
And you know what, Dick? I don't know if you've noticed it, but it seems like Steven Jackson, yes, he is favoring a back injury, but he doesn't seem to have that same burst that he's had throughout the season. Right there, there was an opportunity to really fly into that secondary and cause some punishment. He didn't have that same burst, so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
He got 6 on that play, 2nd and 4. Bowler completes the pass. No first down, though. Randy McMichael makes the catch, shy of a first down by a yard. And right now, let's go out to Kurt Menefee again with a game break.
Lions and Bengals after William James picked off Carson Palmer. The very next play, the Lions take advantage. Matthew Stafford hooking up with Calvin Johnson. 54 yards on the touchdown. And the Lions have the lead, 7-0 in the first quarter. Dick and Trent.
All right, Kurt, thank you. And people look at strength of schedules. You never know at this time of year when you're going to get upset, although it's early in that game. 3rd and 1. Here's Jackson. And he'll get the first down. And Roach trying to bring him down from behind. But Steven Jackson has the first down to the 40-yard line, getting 4 on the play.
He may not have that burst, but he sure has that leg drive. The Bears were able to put 9 defensive players inside the box near the line of scrimmage. Steven Jackson does a good job of cutting back, seeing his legs, seeing his lanes, and there you can see Roach. He's on for a ride. He's carried him there for a couple yards to get that first down. Good job by Steven Jackson driving those legs.
On first down, play action, and Bowler has plenty of time, and going deep in traffic, and Donnie Avery was defended by Kevin Payne, among others. So Payne playing strong safety today, and Charles Tillman also back there as the Rams going for the big score.
Donnie Avery is their big speed receiver. They do a good job with the run fake. They're trying to draw the Bears into coverage. Kyle Bowler has a good deal of time. Donnie Avery, this is a tough throw by Kyle Bowler. He throws in. There's a couple of defenders right there. They dive. There's Payne diving in to make the play right at the last minute, preventing the touchdown.
2nd down and 10. Here's Jackson. And Jackson getting inside the 35-yard line. Hunter Hillenmeyer brings him down after a pickup of 6. So 2nd in the NFL, already with 1,100 yards is Steven Jackson. He has had 6 100-yard rushing games, 2nd in the league. And he leads the NFL in runs of 10 or more yards with 32. So having a great year is Jackson. And he goes out of the game replaced by Kenneth Darby on 3rd and 4 with nearly a minute to go in the first. Good protection for Bowler. But he could not find a receiver, and Donijay finally gets to him. He had the good protection early on, but the Bears did a good job downfield, and there'll be a loss of 7 yards.
They did a good job, but once again, the Bears bring everybody up near the line of scrimmage. Kyle Bowler has a lot of time on the top of the field with Brandon Gibson. He's in one-on-one coverage, and I thought maybe he would get to the backside. But you can tell this is a strong side read because his eyes never went that way the entire time. He was looking front side the entire time. Good job by the Bears down the field and eventually getting pressure on Kyle Bowler.
So Devin Hester back at the 10-yard line, and Donnie Jones trying to keep it inside the 10 if he can. And the Rams do a great job there of getting it at the 1-yard line, and that was Jordan Kent, who suited up for the first time this year, former Seahawk, and he does the job on coverage here. Great job. And the Bears will have to start from about the 1. Tonight, it's the show sports fans have been waiting for, as the nation's best college football teams will be chosen to play in college football's biggest games. Don't miss the All-State BCS Selection Show tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, following the OT, only on Fox. Matt Forte getting the handoff on first down. Gets a burst up the middle and brings it out too close to the 8-yard line. Otagwe greeting him after a pickup of 6. And that should be the last play, and will be, of the first quarter, as Jay Cutler throwing some long passes, 71, 48, and a pass interference on 35 yards. That's his style. And the Bears, after 1 quarter of play, leading it 10-0 over the Rams. Ron Turner, the offensive coordinator for the Bears, 2nd down and 4, and Forte, nothing there, maybe a yard or so, will bring up 3rd down inside the 10-yard line. 2-yard pickup coming in. Surprising for the Bears that they have rushed only 35%, fewest in the NFL. They've been a running team, but today more balanced, Trent.
Well, and that's the thing, when you talk to the coaching staff and you talk to the players, you hear them say, we are a running team. That's our consistency. That's what we do. We're a running team. We're Chicago. But it really hasn't backed up in what the play calling has been. But some of that's dictated by the games, and trying to come from behind, you have to throw the ball.
3rd down and 2. And Forte is going to be knocked back by Craig Dahl, the extra defensive back. And a big defensive play by the Rams, a loss of 3, bringing a punting situation.
You can see Craig Dahl in the middle of the screen. He shoots the gap between the center and the guard, that A gap, and gets penetration into the backfield. Is able to wrap up Matt Forte, and the rest of the troops come flying in to finish him off.
So Dahl with a big play, and on 4th down, Brad Maynard will be punting, and Danny Amendola. Now Maynard coming out, and they may have to call a timeout.
They've only got 10 guys.
They only have 10. And that's not a good thing when you're punting from your own end zone.
You waste the timeout, punt from your own end zone.
2nd timeout called by the Bears, a mix-up. And you can see the disappointment on the face of Lovie Smith. We'll be back. Bears calling a timeout. They didn't have enough men on the field. Khalil Bell saying my bad as he comes on now. So we're ready to go on 4th down. Brad Maynard will be kicking. Amendola, flag is down. And Danny Amendola is tackled at the 42-yard line of the Bears.
I think the Rams are going to get called for a block in the back.
During the kick, illegal block in the back. Number 31 of the receiving team, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Justin King, and that flag came in a hurry. So, you know, it's interesting. You said at the outset that the Rams are playing hard, and they have shown that they're playing hard. But they've got to get back in the game, and they need a good possession here so that the game doesn't really get out of hand early, I would think.
Well, especially the effort you're seeing on the defensive side of the ball. They're giving a lot of effort. Yes, the Bears have gotten some big plays, but they are giving effort offensively. Now, this is the 3rd series they've had the ball near midfield, and they haven't been able to get any points. So they've got to have some production with this type of field position.
They're on their own 41. Bowler fakes one way, and this pass incomplete, and Afalava almost picked it off. Jamar Williams defending against Randy McMichael. And the Bears very nearly had a big opportunity.
And that's the hard thing as a quarterback. When you're not able to have the time to take the ball down the field, you can see the times today that the Rams have gone downfield, Kyle Bowler hasn't had time. So you're relegated to doing 3-step drops and quick drops. And when you're done with that, you're forced to be very accurate, and the defenders are right there.
-6 in the passing department for Bowler. Hands off to Steven Jackson. Steven Jackson. Payne had him first, and a gain of 8 yards. Early in the 2nd quarter from Soldier Field in Chicago, Dick Stockton along with Trent Green. Bears leading 10-0, trying to end a 4-game losing streak, and the Rams have dropped 3 in a row as Jackson goes out, replaced by Kenneth Darby. 3rd down and 2. Fake the handoff to Darby, and Bowler gets by a defender and is not going to get the first down. It was Ogunleye who missed the chance to knock Bowler back for a big loss, but Anthony Adams came up big.
Kyle Bowler does a good job with his vision upfield. Adewale Ogunleye has got to be able to make that tackle. Bowler does a good job. You have to be careful sticking your head up in there, especially Mark Bulger is already down.
So once again, Donnie Jones has to punt, and Devin Hester, last time was December of '07 that he returned a punt for a touchdown. Hester will let it bounce again. And once again, the Bears are going to have to go a long way, as it is down at about the 2-yard line by Jordan Kent once again. Well, the Rams have had the big edge in the field position, but they find themselves down 10-0. There you see the average starting field position. Good for the Rams, not good for the Bears. Last 3 have been inside the 10. And they begin from the 2-yard line here, leading 10-0. Play action on first down from the end zone, and this pass nearly intercepted after it was off the hands of Olsen. And it was James Butler who had a shot at it, and that'll bring up second down from the 2.
Jay Cutler's trying to get the ball down the field. They're looking to hit a big play coming out of the end zone like they did earlier in this game. The second receiver, you can see Hester on the outside trying to clear it out, and Olsen on the corner route. Jay Cutler was just a little off. He's lucky that wasn't intercepted on the tip.
2 tight ends in the game. Matt Forte, who scored the Bears touchdown, brings it out to the 5, where Chris Long makes the play, and it'll be third down. Bears coming in 3-2 at home this year, and not only is Jay Cutler played better at home than on the road, he's played better in daytime than he has in the several night games that the Bears have played.
You know, we brought up a lot of those stats to Jay Cutler, and he just kind of gave us a half smile and says, you know, I don't really care home, away, night, day, prime time, not prime time. He's like, I just try and play as best I can.
Third down and 7. Cutler's pass, incomplete, intended for Knox. And Ron Bartell, who has been worked on by Jay Cutler, has done a good job on that last play, and it'll be fourth down, and Maynard will have to kick again from his own end zone.
And that's a little bit surprising that is who the Bears are choosing to attack over to Ron Bartell. Ron Bartell was a guy that the New Orleans Saints came after in free agency and made an offer to bring him in to be the starting corner, and the Rams were able to secure him and sign him to a long-term deal. So it's surprising that the Bears have decided that's who they're attacking today.
Maynard punting the second time, and Danny Amendola. And it's directional kicking, and it's kicked out of bounds, and it's going to be in Bears territory. So the Rams will start for the 4th time in this game in Chicago territory.
You can see the frustration beginning to mount for the St. Louis Rams after the last possession. Pat Shurmur comes over, Richie Incognito and him have words. Rock Gullickson, the strength coach, comes over, tries to console Richie. He knows he's a little volatile. Jason Brown comes in to try and calm things down. They know this is the 4th time they've had good field position. They've got to make something work.
And the deepest penetration has been the Bears 33. Here's Jackson, nowhere to go. And down he goes. He'll lose a couple of yards. Anthony Adams the first to get to him. So Jackson losing 2 yards, and we haven't really seen him in his great NFL running style that we're used to coming into this game.
We mentioned he's a little bit slow on his cuts. He does still have the power, but as far as his quickness in his cuts and his leg drive, it looks a little slowed by his injured back. But you can see there's definitely an effort on the Bears' part after facing Adrian Peterson a week ago to stop the run game this week.
Sam Congato is in the lineup with Jackson. Play fake. And Bowler pass is caught by Amendola. Flag is down. And Amendola close to the first down, pending the call as the flag is thrown back at the line of scrimmage. It would be an 11-yard gain pending.
Holding, number 70. Offense, 10-yard penalty still. Second down.
Alex Barron just whipping him around, grabbing him around the shoulders and throwing him down. That's going to get called every time. But as a quarterback and the number of hits that Kyle Boller has taken today, there's sometimes you got to send that message, and it's good to see your offensive line fighting for you.
Alex Barron leading the NFL in holding penalties. That was his 7th of the season. So instead of nearly a first down, it's 2nd and 22. Ball back to the 46, and on the delay, Steven Jackson running into his own man. And a good play made by Adonijay after a pick of 3. And here's a game break. Kurt Menefee.
Well, we showed you earlier a defensive interception set up the score for the Lions. This time, an interception by Jonathan Fanene turns against the Lions. And Cincinnati evens up the score at 7 apiece in the second quarter. Dick and Trent.
Thank you, Kurt, who chose to watch last week's game on television with a sports writer, and he had some interesting comments. 3rd down and 19, and the pass caught by Brandon Gibson, loses the ball, and it's picked up by Afalava. Pushed out of bounds is Afalava. Big turnover for the Bears.
Afalava doing a great job of getting in position, but Brandon Gibson, this is one of the few passes today they've been on target. He gets contact, the ball pops up, Afalava returns it, and this has been the problem the Rams have had all year. They get opportunities, they get good field position, and they have negative plays. They have the holding play that brings it back. Then here they have the turnover that the Bears now take inside the 20 and get ready to score and put some more points on the board.
They hope. 41-yard return by Afalava, but it was Zach Bowman who put the hit on Gibson. So each team has committed a turnover. Rams couldn't take advantage of theirs earlier. And a first down at the 16. Khalil Bell on the pitch. And Bell is taken down hard by Laurinaitis. And a gain of 3 yards.
Well, the Bears coaching staff didn't hold a grudge against Khalil Bell. They got him back in the game after costing him a timeout on that punt out of the end zone a few series ago. But the Rams are going to have to stand firm here and try and hold them to a field goal after their offense gave them up the ball.
2nd and 6. Here's Bell again. Bell taken down by Chris Long after a gain of 2. So it'll be 3rd down coming up for the Bears. Jay Cutler has completed 4 of 9 for 131 yards. And the 1 touchdown scored by Chicago, who was on a 1-yard run.
Remember, down in this territory, the red zone, Greg Olsen has been a big factor. He leads the team with 6 touchdowns. He's also been a big factor in 3rd and short to medium situations. So look for a matchup here.
In the red zone, they look to Olsen. And Cutler on the rollout. Throws it away as good defensive, and Cutler taking a hit. Leonard Little in his 12th year, and that'll bring up 4th down. So the Rams do stiffen Trent, and coming on is Robbie Gould to try his 2nd field goal.
Very impressive by the Rams defense after the turnover down in their own end zone. The coverage is good. There's nowhere for Cutler to go with this ball. Leonard Little does a good job with his pursuit. Victor Adeanju does a good job with his pursuit, and you can see Cutler lands awkwardly on that right shoulder. That's something we'll have to continue to keep an eye on as well.
28-yard attempt by Gould. And a fake and a shuffle pass to Greg Olsen. And the Rams will take over, so the Bears, feeling good about themselves, leading 10-0, decide on a little trickery, a shuffle pass from Brad Maynard to Olsen, backfires. And the Rams will get it back, still trailing 10-0. Well, the Rams get it back, and interesting that been 2 turnovers, 1 by each team, getting the ball in enemy territory, and neither one of them scoring any points. First down, Rams from the 10. Steven Jackson. Jackson runs into his own man, Jason Brown, gets 3 yards.
And back to the fake field goal, you can see Right here, coming off the side there, Roach does a good job of seeing Greg Olsen go down the line, and on that shuffle pass, he feels that pressure, sees Olsen escaping, and grabs a hold of his jersey, and he's really the reason that play didn't have any success, because he sniffed it out right from the beginning. As soon as he saw Olsen leave his assignment, he followed him right down the line.
So Jackson goes out. Darby is in on 2nd down and 7. That's Kenneth Darby. And the pass going to Darby. And he'll get out of bounds after getting the first down. Chased by the middle linebacker, Hunter Hillenmeyer. And a gain of 13 yards.
Good play and good concept by the Rams. You get a matchup on Kenneth Darby against Hillenmeyer. That speed there is not going to be able to hold up. So good misdirection by the Rams, faking one direction, bootlegging out the other, and getting that isolation of Darby on Hillenmeyer out in the flat to get the first down.
Well, the Bears have really been a disappointment on defense, and Pat Shurmur trying to find the keys today. Hillenmeyer, of course, in for Urlacher. He used a lot of linebacking situations as Jackson is tackled by Jamar Williams after a gain of about a yard. So there've been a lot of shuffling going on, Trent, in the linebacking position. Williams, of course, for Lance Briggs, missing his first game of the season and only the 3rd game in 7 seasons.
And that's even more impressive what the Bears have been able to do on defense. The field position that the Rams have had all day and the effectiveness that the Bears defense has had stopping the run and keeping Steven Jackson to no big plays.
Jackson not happy about something maybe not being in there. There's the slant, and Brandon Gibson makes the catch, and it should be enough for the first down. And the rookie from Washington State, as Jackson comes back in the game. And it will be a first down for the Rams.
Nice catch by Brandon Gibson coming back after his turnover the previous series. Kyle Boller comes right back to him. Brandon Gibson does a nice job of sliding while making that catch and getting the first down.
Jackson averaging 4.7 yards per rush. He's going to help his yardage on this play, and he gets the first down as he just crashes through Payne and Zach Bowman to get 11 yards. And the 2nd straight first down for the Rams.
Well, it's interesting the effectiveness the Rams are having now after starting with poor field position, whereas all day they've been around midfield, but this is exactly what they've needed. Whether they go down and get points or not, they've been able to get out of their own end zone, get the ball near midfield. Let's see if they can convert it into some points.
Billy Bajema with a good block. Remember, they don't have the fullback today, so here is Jackson with a solid run, getting into Bear territory to the 48. Kevin Payne makes the play after a 4-yard pickup. As Trent Green mentioned earlier, Mike Carney inactive for the 2nd straight week, and so tight ends will have to fill the bill as blocking backs. And there you see the Rams today. Only 92 yards, 24 in the air, and 1 for 6 on 3rd downs. But so far, this has been their best offensive sequence. 2nd and 6. Jackson comes out to the left slot. Fake to him, and the quick to Avery. And Avery reaches forward and has enough for the first down, with Tillman trying to prevent it, and a 6-yard gain. And another first down, and Incognito, who had a sprained foot, missing the last 4 games, slow getting up.
And he's actually going out of the game. He's calling for Mark Setterstrom to come in and relieve him. Richie has missed the last 4 games because of a knee injury. He doesn't look to be hobbling or limping or anything. It just depends on what happened. I'm not sure.
Well, anytime you have to move the offensive line around, as you well know, they've had to do it again this week. It's tough for the quarterback. Boller handing off to Jackson. And Steven Jackson getting to the 40, where Jamar Williams makes the play. And a gain of 2 with 3.5 minutes remaining in the first half.
This has been a very effective drive for the Rams. If you think about where they started, the field position they have, they've done a good job of running the ball. Steven Jackson pounding it. He's had one run where he got around 8 or 10 yards, but most of the time it's been controlled passing and pounding the ball up the middle at 4, 5, 6 yards a crack.
And the Rams still have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. 2nd and 8. Boller. And it's caught by Gibson. Brandon Gibson still on his feet. And a nimble job done by Gibson to get inside the 20-yard line. A 21-yard pick up with Afalava finally putting him away, but the Rams are threatening here, down by 10-0.
Well, the thing that's even more impressive about Brandon Gibson on this play, yes, he comes back, he slips at the top of it, but to catch the ball on your knees, get up off the ground and gain another 10 to 15 yards, that tells you the type of separation he had in running that route.
You like receivers who would get on their knees and say, throw it to me now, right?
Especially if they were in the end zone.
Yeah, of course. Comes out to the left, defended by Bowman. First down, and here's Jackson with a hole. Steven Jackson inside the 10. And a very impressive drive by the Rams that started at about the 10-yard line. 13 yards for Steven Jackson.
And Steven Jackson may not have that explosive pop because of the soreness in his back, but the offensive line, Billy Badgham was in at fullback. We already mentioned they're going to be rotating different players in that spot. You can't arm tackle Steven Jackson. He keeps driving. Randy McMichael getting fired up, number 84 there. He's getting fired up. They want to get this ball in the end zone.
Jackson 34 yards on this drive, 72 already in the game. First and goal. And they go to Jackson again, and Jackson will be tackled by Jamar Williams, picking up 1 yard, and we're down to the 2-minute warning here at Soldier Field. And the Bears lead the Rams, who are knocking on the door, 10-0.
Today's game is sponsored by Verizon Football.
This telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
First 5 drives, total 55 yards for the Rams. This one is 85 so far. Second and goal from the 4. 2-minute warning. And Steven Jackson picking up a yard. Nick Roach is there to make the tackle.
Tackled by Nick Roach.
Eagles out to a quick start over the Falcons. And Cincinnati, after trailing early, leading 14-7. And coming out of the game is Nick Roach.
It's interesting the Rams decide to take out 2 of their tight ends and bring in 3 wide receivers to spread things out down here.
First time on the drive that the Rams have faced a third down. They're on the 3. Bowler flips it and incomplete. Try to get it to Steven Jackson, who dropped it right away. So 4th down coming up, and the Rams will try for the field goal here.
This is a form of a shuffle pass. A good job by Alex Brown sniffing this out. Instead of shuffling it underhand, Steven Jackson cuts inside Alex Brown, which sometimes you'll see the quarterback flip that underhand or shovel that underhand. But Alex Brown does a good job of sensing that from Steven Jackson and able to break it up.
20-yard attempt coming up for Josh Brown, and the kick is good. So the Bears gave the Rams the chance when they eschewed a field goal and went for it on 4th down on a fake play, and the Rams come down with a great opportunity to get a touchdown, but they'll take the points, and it's 10-3 with 1:14 to go in the first half. Coming up, our Visa halftime report with Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. We'll have scores and highlights and the Fox Sports ticker as well. So the Rams stalled to not convert on 3rd down. This is what set it really up for the Rams, Trent.
Yeah, the Bears decided to go for the fake field goal. Instead of taking the 13-0 lead, they decided to go for the fake field goal, get the big punch. David Roach does a good job of following Olsen down the line, prevents it. And the Rams, after having great field position, you mentioned, Dick, they had great field position all day. They decide this time at their 15, they might as well go 85 yards and get a field goal. So very timely for the Rams on offense.
You know, we talked about the resodding of the turf. They actually did have artificial turf here once, and it was torn up. And don't know if they'll ever go back to it again. There is a scoring drive, and it stalled at the end. So it's a 10-3 game, and Danielle Manning on the return for Chicago. Manning gets a few extra yards after the initial contact and brings it out close to the 35-yard line. And Jay Cutler comes back. The Bears, having to use 2 early timeouts, have only 1 remaining.
They've got plenty of time. They've got 1 minute and 6 seconds to one timeout, like you mentioned, Dick. You only need about 25, 30 yards to get into to makeable field goal range. So don't look for the Bears to sit on the ball. They're going to stretch the field and try and get points before the half.
As Jay Cutler would prefer. From the 33, bobbled, and Cutler will go down. And a loss.
Well, that just changed. That just changed. If they were going to have any chance of trying to score before the half, Jay Cutler's got to throw that ball away to stop the clock.
Does he have a problem with his finger? He's holding on to it.
You know, you start looking at that last play, you see he has a hard time hanging on to the ball. And the play before when Leonard Little smashed him into the ground, and we thought maybe he had a shoulder injury, but...
2nd and 16, Matt Forte will try to run the ball and brings it out beyond the 30-yard line. So they still need about 12 yards. Craig Dahl making the tackle, a 5-yard pickup. And doesn't look like the Bears are going to take any chances here with the final seconds.
No. It's and that's why you hear the Boo Birds coming out here at Soldier Field, because there was over a minute left. You had the one timeout. There was plenty of time to try and make something happen.
O.J. Atogwe slow getting up. He may be hurt. And time runs out. That's the end of the first half. The Bears lead the Rams 10-3. Fox NFL Sunday will continue with the Visa halftime report.
In a